Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at Psalm 18. It says, I love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. My rock, my God, my rock in whom I take refuge. My shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies. The cords of death encompassed me, the torrents of destruction assailed me. The cords of Sheol entangled me, and the snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord. To my God I cried for help. From his temple he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. Then the earth reeled and rocked. The foundations also of the mountains trembled and quaked, because he was angry. Smoke went up from his nostrils and devoured fire from his mouth. Glowing coals flamed forth from him. He bowed the heavens and came down. Thick darkness was under his foot. He rode on a cherubim and flew. He came swiftly on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his coverings, his canopy around him, thick clouds dark with water. Out of the dark of brightness before him, hailstones and coals of fire through his clouds. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the Most High uttered his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. And he sent out his arrows and scattered them. He flashed forth lightnings and routed them. Then the channels of the sea were seen, and the foundations of the world were laid bare. At your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He rescued me from my strong enemy and from those who hated me. For they were too mighty for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out into a broad place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. The Lord dealt with me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands, he rewarded me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his rules were before me, and his statutes I did not put away from me. I was blameless before him, and I kept myself from my guilt. So the Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. With the merciful you show yourself merciful. With the blameless man you show yourself blameless. With the purified you show yourself pure. And with the crooked you show yourself seemed torturous. For you save a humble people, but the haughty eyes you bring down. For it is you who light my lamp. The Lord my God lightens my darkness. For by you I can run against a troop, and by my God I can leap over a wall. This God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord proves true. He is a shield for all those who take refuge in him. For who is God but the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? The God who equipped me with strength and made my way blameless. He made my feet like the feet of a deer, and set me secure on the heights. He trains my hands for war, so that my arms can bend an bow of bronze. And you have given me the shield of your salvation, and your right hand supported me, and your gentleness made me great. You gave a wide place for my steps under me, and my feet did not slip. I pursued my enemies and overtook them, and did not turn back till they were consumed. I thrust them through, so that they were not able to rise. They fell under my feet. For you equipped me with strength for the battle. You made those who rise against me sink under me. You made my enemies turn their backs to me, and those who hated me I destroyed. They cried for help, but there was none to save. They cried to the Lord, but he did not answer them. I beat them fine as dust before the wind. I cast them out like the mires of the streets. You delivered me from strife with the people. You made me the head of the nations. People whom I had not known served me. And soon, as they heard of me, they obeyed me. Foreigners came cringing to me. Foreigners lost heart and came trembling out of their fortresses. The Lord lives, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the God of my salvation, the God who gave me vengeance and subdued people under me, who rescued me from my enemies. Yes, you exalted me above those who rose against me. You delivered me from the man of violence. For this I will praise you, O Lord, among the nations, and sing to your name. Great salvation he brings to his king, and shows steadfast love to his anointed, to David and his offspring forever. Psalms 18. Rock, fortress, mercy. The light. So in here it's talking about God being merciful, showing mercy to those who need it, but then also showing anger. How do you hold yourself when you're dealing with life every day? Do you show mercy? Are you a light to someone to help them? You know, being a Christian, we're to be Christ-like. Show mercy, be the light. In all thinking about that, just living life every day, that's just a great way to be, to help others as you're trying to encourage them, trying to build them up. Many think the same way. There's just certain levels that we believe a little different. And again, I'm not quiet about how I believe or what I believe, but that's not something that I'm to hold against anyone. Just because we don't see eye to eye, it's okay. See, it's all about us encouraging one another and helping each other. And I know a lot of people kind of put that obstruction in between, but if people are not always going to be that way, at some point you have to understand it's okay. Just like when you're trying to help somebody or teach someone to do their job better, trying to help your child do their math better, their spelling better. Sometimes there's just certain things they cannot break through. They might need a little extra help. It might not be their thing. It's helping them be the best that they can be and figuring out where they're going to fit and what they're going to be able to do to be successful as they get older, they grow up, they pick an occupation. What are they going to do? What is it that they can do? You're with someone at work and trying to train them, and maybe it's not really working. What are they good at to where you can plug them into something different that will help them exceed, that will help the business, that can help you? Many times there's that black and white, and that's all we see. There is no gray. To be a true people person, at times you have to look for that gray to see where people are fitting, to see where they're excelling, where they're not. Everything is not black and white. I wish it was. It would make things so much easier. Trust me, I've been doing what I do for a long time, and there is no black and white. There's a lot of things that I am good at. There's a lot of things that I am terrible at. But somehow I have to figure out a way to pull all those together to make it work, to do what needs to be done. Being versatile. Some people are not able to be versatile, though. So how can you help them deal with that? People, sometimes they've got to have something strict. They've got to have a plan every day. It has to be the same thing day in, day out. And if something throws in and messes up that plan and messes up the day, they have lost it. Some just need that structure. Some need to be that assembly line worker, and this is what they do day in and day out. The exact same thing. It never changes. Some people need to stretch the creative part of their mind, or they go insane. Some are very logical in their thinking and do not have an emotional piece. Some very emotional and not very logical. How do you show them to pull that together to make it work for them? To be that person that they need to be, that they want to be, that they should be. No one ever said life is easy. Nobody ever said adulting was easy. Adulting, really. There's so many days I want to just let my adulting go away. Can I just go back to, watching Batman every Saturday morning at 6 a.m.? Watching my Saturday morning cartoons. We get older, we get more responsibility. With that responsibility, we have to learn to be responsible. Sometimes we were taught that. Some were not taught to be responsible. And we have to try and help people, hold people accountable for that, to be more responsible with what they do every day. I'm sure some read these that I share and they get very spiritual with it. I know I've got a friend of mine that listens and then they end up journaling and they go everywhere different. But again, I'm just sharing kind of what's on my heart. But see, I'm sharing because what I'm just trying to do is encourage everyone to be there for one another, to love one another, to build up one another, because I want us all to be the best that we can be. I'd love to see everything just start working together and living in harmony, but we also know that that's not going to happen either. We're going to have warlords and dictators and strife in the world. But if I can be that light to one person to help them, that's not going to be that. Unfortunately, when you're encouraging, you never know what you're turning into. But hopefully when you're giving that and building someone up, you're not feeding that egotistical side. And they have a heart. They can also show that emotion and work from that side as well. It's finding that balance between logic and emotion. Psalms 18. Read that today. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.